Happy Monday, beautiful souls, wherever you are on this phenomenal planet. It is time for Shift Your Thinking Mondays, where we transform our inner experience to a positive outer experience. Before we jump into today's episode, we do a couple breathing, take a deep breaths, breathing techniques to slow the mind, slow the heart rate, get in our moment so that we can really receive today's message. All right, so follow me. Breathe in and out. One more. Breathe in and out. I've got room for one more. Last one. Breathe in and out. All right. Hello. Hi. You're right. Hell is low. Hi. Say, press 1. Lets me know you're here. Press 2. Lets me know you shared it. Drop a comment down below. Say hi. And trust me, I have had such a productive weekend. I've been working on my vision board back here. My husband got this 48-inch vision board that's covering the whole wall, and I love it. So I'm slowly filling in my boxes. I created 6 frames within the vision board that's broken out for 3 years ahead, 1 year ahead, 6 months ahead, 3 months ahead, and then we're doing 60 to 30 day windows. And so out of doing that, something amazing happened. I was able to bring unfinished business back on. So I'm really happy about that because I brought unfinished business. So I have this wild idea. I have all these wild ideas. I'm sure my mom is like, another wild idea. And of course, my husband gets to be on board with a lot more of my wild ideas. But you know what I love about my union with my husband is he has wild ideas too. And so it's just executing those wild ideas. We are continuing our segment of Shift Your Thinking for Success. Again, this is episode 292. We'll be talking about mission, vision, and values. And so what I'm sharing with you in terms of the vision boarding that I do, and so I have vision boards, I have cork boards. My office is very colorful, very picturesque. I have different pictures. I printed more pictures. And I realized the last couple of days I was having a challenge sleeping. And the reason being is because I had so much going on in my mind about this list of things that I wanted to do, that I want to do. And so it was really great to be able to just get this list out. Cali Boy Detailing is in the building. Good morning, Queen. He says, thank you, King. Thank you. Grand rising to you all. And so as we're talking about today's episode with mission, vision, and values as this relates to your success, you entrepreneurs, mompreneurs, poppreneurs, you startups, even if you've been at this for a couple years, there's always room for improvement. And that's what Shift Your Thinking is. It's a daily ritual practice for you to push your mind forward. If you have a level up in you, then let's do it together because there's so much going on. So this year, I'm planning something epic for 2023. I will see you on the other side. All right, so we're continuing Dean Del Sesto, Shift Your Thinking. We did, when we first started Shift Your Thinking, we did 200 ways to transform your mind. It was for personal success. So now, this is for us, right? MVV, he says, personal mission, vision, and values drives everything you do and all that you are. So drop that in the comment below, hashtag MVV. He says nearly every organization on the planet starts life with mission, vision, and core values. I just interviewed my first agent this weekend. Woohoo! Hold on, pause. Let's celebrate that. So I'm expanding my real estate brokerage, and I interviewed my first agent this weekend. What? I specifically said when I launched the brokerage that I would give myself a year before I start considering bringing on agents. Why? Because I wanted to understand more of myself as a leader, as an entrepreneur, as a CEO, as a founder. I wanted to understand what my mission is, what my value is, and my core values, right? So mission, vision, core values. So this weekend, I just really am grateful that I magnetized something that's amazing, and trust that it's going to be a great fit for her. She's actually scheduled to take her test, her real estate exam, next week. And so upon her finding out her results, we will look forward to having her on board as one of our first agents with my company. And it's much more so of our company when you think about core values. For me, I want to make sure that our client experience is duplicated across every agent. So who works with me, if they work with one of our agents, one of our real estate experts, our consultants, they feel like they're having that same experience as they having with me. So I had to sidebar about that, because that's a huge milestone from where I started 16 years ago in this business. All right, so he says they are the foundation of what a company stands for, and he's referring to your mission, vision, and values. He says where it is headed and the way it will all go about and he says, and the way it will go about doing what it does. He says the challenges that often these documents get lost in the shuffle, are poorly written, and never get written into action or measurable results. I've also been working on some different bookkeeping programs, right? So working on systems so that we can measure that success. He says, I call this MVVDOA. For every human being in business or not, MVV should be held as foundational to their own brand. And because they are not created by committee, they can be personally crafted. So it looks like our call to action today is going to be focusing on our own brand MVV. So let's pause there and drop that in the comments below. Right, so MVV. For those of you who are streaming on our radio podcast everywhere, we're talking about mission, vision, and values. Mission, vision, and values is what hashtag MVV stands for. And so this is right on time, because I literally spent this weekend doing this, working on this. He says the principles can be owned and activated with immediate life-changing results if created properly. He says working closely with business professionals and CEOs across CEO groups across the nation, he says, I often am given the charge of helping them craft clear, concise, and to the point personal mission, vision, and core value statements. He says only about 5% of the people he works with actually have a document that references back to what they personally stand for, where they're headed, the character they say they are committed to, and the ways they want to conduct themselves at work. Most inherently, he says, know what you aspire to, but based on feedback, he says he's received when they bring a clear voice to their mission, their vision, and their ways of doing business, they'll admit it's one of the more valuable exercises they've ever done. So where to start? There's often a great deal of confusion about the mission and vision and how they work together with core values. So he says, so here's a bit of their true makeup on keep this simple. Let's write this down. He says the MVV are more than just your roadmap. So say roadmap, right? So write that in the chat. They're the driving force to help me, say me, they're the driving force to help me be fully confident at being exceptionally me. Ooh, I like that. So let's say that again. The MVV are more than just my roadmap. They're the driving force to help me be fully confident and at being exceptionally me. That's that super you I was talking about with someone the other day. When I consult with agents and different entrepreneurs, I have this concept about activating your super you, and that's what he's talking about here. He says to demystify a bit, the mission has to do with what you stand for. So mission is what you stand for. It touches briefly, if at all, on what you do for a living, but focuses largely on the philosophical stance of what you desire to cause in life, business, and relationships. I like this. He says most accurately, it alludes to where you most consistently make a difference in the lives of the people who are connected to your brand. Generally, it is more emotional than cerebral and more lifeline than bottom line. And yet it will have a profound effect on everyone's bottom line if exercised to its full potential. So he was referring to the mission. He says your mission, well executed in business, will bring notable financial reward, but it's generally something you love doing so much you'd gladly do it for free. I was speaking with my son the other day because he's been watching his parents work on their vision, work on their purpose and their mission. And so he's been having these questions about, what's a good job for me, Mom? What do you think I should do? And so I keep reminding him to come back to what he enjoys doing, right? As he evolves, I want him to have a basis and a foundation of understanding what his core values are, what's important to him, so that he can align that with the work that he does. Certainly, this business that we're building is definitely his fallback as he decides he goes out in the world. And if he decides he doesn't want to do that, he can absolutely fall back on being part of the real estate industry and as part of this business that his parents is creating and building out. Let's continue. We're talking about vision now. He says the vision focuses on what you will accomplish. So say that. Vision focuses on what I'll accomplish. He says, and by when, if timing is a consideration. So just as I referred to, back here I have this vision board and I've mapped out, 36 months, 12 months, 6 months, 3 months, and 60 to 90 days. So I am projecting out here, right? Ooh, I like that how I do that on the camera. I'm projecting. I'm projecting out here what my goals are, what the vision is. And you can't see all of it, but I do print. And so I already have some stuff that I'm printing. Again, that's what cork boards are fun for, is that you can put the vision on there. Excuse me. Let's take a quick water break here because I'm really feeling this. I'm feeling great that we started on time, even though I dropped my mom off at work this morning and I was like, oh my gosh. Of course, you can't say no to mom, so I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm not going to make the 8:10 show on time, but I did, so it all worked out. I'm really happy about that. Let's continue. Excuse me. So he's talking about vision. He says it is designed to create accountability to specific progress in the short and long term. So write that down. Vision creates accountability, short and long term. He says, in contrast to mission statements and core values, which remain mostly constant, the vision statement evolves over time as you live out. See, I really can appreciate that because that for me personally has been something that, like he said, is often confused as your mission and your vision. Vision is the one that evolves. Mission likely is going to be a constant, right? Overall, what's the company mission? What's the brand mission? He says, achieving the current vision is a call to adopt a new one. As are changing market conditions, economic factors, job shifts, new life initiatives, and many other personal and passion-focused variables. So let's get to the last one. He says core values. So we're talking about MVV. We've covered mission, vision, now we're on values. Core values, he says, are the character traits you will demonstrate to accomplish the mission and the vision. He says they are the ways of being for you and your brand. So your core values, the ways of being, your human being, right? Or your human doing. He says they will show up in the things you do and say, as well as the non-negotiables of what you don't do and say ever. I do have non-negotiables. I'm working on more the etymology of words, especially as I'm studying law, right? So learning root words and I'm learning so much. I just had this conversation this early this morning. I woke up out of my sleep. I had a really positive dream, a message that came through to me this morning, about 5 o'clock this morning. I woke up and I wrote it down, and then I was sharing with my husband. And so this is why I have this extra invigoration or reinvigoration with Shift Your Thinking, Ready Set Real Estate, all these different things that I'm looking forward to executing and continue to accomplish. He says, one's values are highly personal and are very rarely changed unless one sees the need to shift into stronger values, more relevant to both corporate and individual progress. He says developing MVV that resonate and move you emotionally will require a bit of sitting under a tree time. Whatever goes down on paper has to be inspiring enough to work itself into your mindset, heart set, and actions daily. We're going to end there. So with that being said, as we're talking about mission, vision, and values, this week's call to action, what is your call to action? Your CTA is your assignment, right? It's moot for you to come and listen to me and you're not really putting this in action, because I do. And that's how you see results, is you put things in action, you measure them, and you see the results. So this week's action is to, if you have not already, developed your mission, vision, and core values as it relates to your brand/company. Take the time this week to freestyle writing. Take a notebook, pen, pad, of course your tablet, your phone, and freestyle. And just write 3 categories. So mission, create a box for that, write what comes out. Then vision, write what comes out. And then your core values, write what comes out. Then start to revisit that over the next 2 to 4 days. Set it down and come back to it. What you'll find when you do that, and these are activities I do as an author when I'm writing. Currently, I am starting to launch my book projects. Is it possible to write 2 books at the same time? So I'm writing my son's book and developing his characters, and then I am finishing, or I started some of my own books last year, and so I'm now in the motion of finishing those books as well. And so what I do when I write those books, I write and then I put it away, then I come back to it, right? Fresh eyes, fresh mind, clear heart. And that's what he says. In order for it to sit in you, write something that is inspiring enough to move you, for it to sit and resonate. All right, with that I say, have a powerful and productive week. We'll see you next week, Monday, 8:10 Pacific time, right here on all available streaming platforms with another episode of Shift Your Thinking. I love you, love you, love you. Bye.